Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. Where I do what I do for you. Oh, I got a continuation from the last lesson. Right thinkers, let's get this party started. I'm ready. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thinkers' mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain, your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission. And my goal is to get all right thinkers to do just that. Know thyself. And I give the lessons to give you the opportunity to do just that. So let's go. And I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Get you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I finished off the last lesson with the role of the teacher, I think it was. Okay, or how to teach and approach the preceptor, aka Sage Me. Now I'm gonna give you a lesson right there. Let's talk about how to know if you found the right spiritual preceptor, aka master teacher or sage. Okay, so what you mean? Okay, if you come to me because you recognize what I do and how I do it. And you also recognize the ignorance in yourself. So you come to me to be your teacher. And I'm trying to tell you how to approach a preceptor or a teacher. And these are things that you need to learn. So therefore, first thing you need to do, the first thing you need to do is cease all your thoughts of pride and self-importance. That me, that I, the ego. Okay, you got to go. Otherwise, what? You are only toying or BSing at being an aspirant or a right thinker, and you have no chance to be a real right thinker or initiate. Why? Because you ain't real about it. And as you check out what a teacher, and yes, you should be cautious and slow to allow yourself, but once you choose to do so, your allegiance, hear this, your allegiance should be complete. Straightforward. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Your allegiance should be complete and unreserved, unconditional, and wholeheartedly. If you don't have those qualifications, you're not going to be a right thinker. You're not going to be a qualified initiate or aspirant. So those are things that you need to take care of in order to be qualified in a good initiate or a right thinker. The unrighteous, watch this, the unrighteous and therefore limited ways of relating will thwart the spiritual process of the teacher disciple relationship. Teacher, disciple, student, teacher. And it will render it what? That relationship will be fruitless. It will go nowhere. Okay? Waste of time. And being that I have discernment, I don't do a whole lot of that. Why? I can recognize real fast if you're full of crap or not, and I won't waste my time. That's why. So I don't have that problem. So watch this. But they cause what happened? With them issues that we talk about, they cause rifts in the mind of who? You, the aspirant, and it will prevent you from what? Pursuing the teachings and in a what? A correct manner. You won't be with what's going on, so it won't work. If I say do it this way, I'm gonna do it that way. Mm-mm, don't work that way. That's when it don't work. Watch this. And sometimes you like the children, they may keep themselves from what? Facing the preceptor after what? They have made some transgressions, meaning done something wrong. If you done something unintentionally wrong, own up to it, move on. If you done something intentionally wrong, suffer the consequences that come with that action and don't do it again. Okay, you can't stop what happened already, but you can change the future. If you persist on doing the same thing that you know is wrong, then you ain't progressing. That's the purpose. And the idea about the children, when Adam and Eve in the garden, once they ate of the forbidden fruit, supposedly, they did a wrong act knowingly. They knew it was wrong, and they did it. So the transgressions, they still had to pay for it. Not knowing didn't make a difference. Okay, move on. But that's the whole idea. And when you do something, watch this. What'll happen? Sometimes as children, they keep themselves from facing trans. Why? Because they made some transgressions due to what? Watch this. Due to their pride and shame. Something that they did that they feel bad about. And at these times, what happened? When life humbles you, the aspirant, it is even more important what? That you should trust who? In your teacher, who will never rub in your face or turn you away. That's big. But I don't know if I could be that big. I've had students who I had to let go because they wasn't progressing, they wasn't putting forth the effort. I had to let them go. Okay, so everybody don't do what they say they want to do. Okay, so understand that too. But as a preceptor is like what? The son. How? Who witnesses the good and the bad, but yet remains aloof, dispassionate, okay, but yet in touch. When I decided not to be bothered no more, I became real aloof and get out of touch, okay? So you, the practitioner, understands what? How tough it is, yeah, to make it through the what? The gross, subtle temptations and fancy notions and desires of life. When you're weak-minded and you're not too smart, you're gonna fall prey to a whole bunch of things until you learn. And it ain't always good to learn hard the old-fashioned way as you go. School of hard knocks. Well, because you're gonna have a whole lot of problems and it's gonna hurt. So sometimes it's better to get somebody to help you, show you the way, help you along that path. That's what they're trying to explain to you. That's the purpose of a teacher, aka sage. But it's some things that you're required to do to make it happen. Watch this. So when you're going through life, we all understand that. And thus you prepare what? To forgive all as a preceptor, as a teacher. Your students are like your children. You always show forgiveness, understanding, and grace and patience. Even though, watch this, a transcendent master is beyond what? Personal hangups. Okay, that means you elevate your conscious level where you ain't caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense so you can help somebody else. Why? Because you done surpassed that. So you have knowledge and understanding of it, the wisdom of it to help others. Watch this. You have no personal hangups, no egoistic desires or attachments to so on. An aspirant should never disrespect the preceptor, steal from the preceptor objects, or even more important, knowledge, or speak out of turn or test the patience of the preceptor. Some aspirants, due to their ignorance, what believe they can go around and taking advantage from different teachers, hopping from this one to that one, without what? Giving anything in return. Those are the ones that go all over everywhere, trying this one, checking that one out, comparing them to this, critiquing that one, and never get nothing from nobody. What? No desire, no sincerity, and no effort put forth to practice anything except what he don't like. Moving on. When you are subjective, anything that comes to you that don't match what you think is, you are going to reject it. So be objective and have an open mind. So watch this. So what happens? So they can go, watch this. So now they can remain what? Unchanged. You haven't done nothing. Why? Because they do not give themselves their allegiance or trust and support to what? To the cause of any of the teachings. That's why. Therefore, what happened? They never get the opportunity to what? To form a long-term relationship. I got a student, my disciple, the first one, been with me 5 years and feel damn good about it. And I feel just as good about it. Why? Because I see the change, he noticed the change, and that's how it's done. That's why. And if you build a relationship like that, it's foolproof. Watch this. Watch this. So their understanding remains what? Their knowledge of the teachings remain superficial, and thereby they only develop what? Delusions, ideas of grandeur as advanced initiates, and in reality, they are just setting themselves up for the great fall, the big disappointment of what I thought. If you thought, that means you didn't know. If you believe, that also means you don't know. So you use the words, understand the definition of the words that you use to express what you're trying to say. Moving on. Now, I'm just trying to help you out. Okay. I use the words I need to express why. I'm trying to teach the concept and the view that the words I say don't explain what I'm saying. I'm not getting my message across. So moving on. Every aspirant, right thinking, must offer their ego. Here we go. This is the best part. Your ego, your pride, and your ignorance on the divine altar of wisdom. Check it, and check it again. Leave it there. Why? They must sacrifice your egoistic notions, your vanity, in order to attain insight and personal wisdom. You can't learn nothing if you run around thinking you know everything already. The ego, remember, is edged God out. So you're on your own. You don't want nothing. You don't want to learn nothing. You ain't going to do nothing but what's good for yourself. That's what the ego does. And if you're that kind of person, that's what you represent. The egoistic characteristics of set. They must pledge their service to who? You, the preceptor, in form of what? Physical, mental, and spiritual support and devotion. If you're not going to show and be devoted and sincere to what I'm teaching, don't waste either one of our time. Moving on. Further, an aspirant, right thinker, should not hesitate to what? Beg the practitioner's forgiveness for any transgressions. Again, without intent, it's an accident. Unintentional, always excusable. If it's with malice and intent, now we got a different problem. Okay, that's a whole different animal. Understand that. So while what the preceptor is not personally bothered by your transgressions again, or insolence, etc. Again, why? I'm above that, or they're above that, and the preceptor's voice is silenced in what? In the presence of such ignorant aspirants, and this hurts them severely. Why? Because allowing the cycle of ignorance and pain and suffering in life and set themselves up for what? Reincarnation, meaning a continued, unabated, disrespectful, and carelessness, as well as all ill manners and rudeness are symptoms of what? Spiritual immaturity, aka in essence, ignorance. These are all qualities of a spiritually ignorant person, an egoistic person. If you have somebody who's going to help you eradicate those things out of your character, show them the utmost respect. I don't expect you to be at my feet groveling, but no, show the respect and I will give it in return. You got to give to receive. If you give an enlightened being, a teacher, a sage, respect, they'll give it back to you, guaranteed. And if you meet one that don't, he's not what he said he claimed to be. Simple as that. Moving on. Now, what we got? So when you are spiritually teachings, when the spiritual teachings to such a personality will be as effective as what? As in instructing a dog or a cat on the finer principles of brain surgery. Some people, it's a waste of time to try to get across a concept or philosophy that they just ain't trying to adhere to. Leave them be. Arguing about you knowing this and they not knowing that, ixnay on that. It never works well, okay? My mom always said, you can't talk politics and religion. She's been saying that for years, and I got to agree with some things you just got to get. If you can't beat them, you got to join them. I agree. So, again, those two things, conversation never ends well. So let's go. But you have now this unrighteous way of relating closes the door to who? To real spiritual instructions. I'm not going to tolerate being disrespected. Simple as that. Okay. And that's when the door closes. Doop, we're done. And what happened? And this closing has been the fault of who? You, the aspirant, due to your actions. Take care to what? Not be two-faced and burn your bridges. There you go. Thinking that you have attained some higher level and you no longer need your teacher or you discovered a better teacher. Again, hopping around, taking advice from this, of course, what? It sounds better than mine. I rolled it with him. You didn't know what you're talking about. He said this. I agree with that. Okay, move on. But that's what we're talking about now. And thus what happened? Disrespecting your old one. Because you get a new one, don't mean you got to disrespect the old one. When you have relationships, you don't disrespect the old one because you got a new one. Just move on. Let it be. Okay? But the old, watch this. The old is what brought you to what? The new, you think you have arrived at it. And this, therefore, what? You feel worthy of the same respect and gratitude that was supposed to have been given there all along. So, of course, you find somebody who you like. Now you're going to show him the respect that you should have shown your first teacher. That's why it didn't work, because you didn't do those things. But because you found somebody that you like, that's the difference. Okay, understand it. And it's human nature. It's understandable. But being disrespectful for somebody that you didn't get along with, that's not cool. Moving on. While what? While the teacher exists in a transcendental bliss, regardless of what your aspirant's righteous conduct or lack thereof, the aspirant is severely affected by what? Their own actions. You're gonna do it me. I'm giving you the instructions. You have to act on them. You have to use them and manifest for yourself. Even the subtlest unrighteous act is a pathway to what? Strengthening of what? Your ego. And egoism, what? Leads to what? You ready? Impaired intellect and degraded feelings. The ego is not good. If it's in control, you are going to suffer. Trust me. And unrighteous behavior, what reverberates in what? In the consciousness of what you, the aspirant, informs, here you go, negative impressions, meaning bad thoughts in your mind that what? Clot understanding, mean it blocks your understanding, your comprehension, and what? It may even take lifetime to what? Erase. Some people don't learn, so they got what? Reincarnated. They come back, and guess what? They learn again. That's what they're gonna reincarnate until you get it right. Just that's the concept that I profess and practice. That's all. And we moving on. Get this thing done. So therefore, what happens? Therefore, be sure to take care to make sure that your relationship as an aspirant with your preceptor is righteous. If not in the beginning, if it didn't start out that way, certainly what? At least by the time it's ended, you should improve your relationship by what? Going along and understanding what you should do to make it that way. And in the end, you should have gained trust, respect for the teacher by the things that he's doing for you. But that watch this. But there is only one true ending if it can be referred to as such, and that is what? The attainment of enlightenment. Right thing, because if I don't get you to know yourself, if I don't enlighten you with knowledge that you can use to know yourself, I'm not doing my job. And that will frustrate me and make me feel very upset. Why? I need to do better. So I will come and try again a little bit harder. But I'm going to do what I need to do to try to enlighten you. Let's go. So what happens? Now, when you get total enlightenment, that's the end game. Knowing thyself is spiritual enlightenment. Does a river end, watch this, when it joins the ocean? Question mark, excuse me. In like manner, the true end of the road of the teacher-disciple relationship is the what? Aspirant's attainment of spiritual enlightenment to know thyself. But this is not the end, but a what? A merging of the aspirant's consciousness, becoming conscious, with what? That of the teacher, the beginning of conscious experience of the transcendental spirit. And here begins also what? That psycho-spiritual journey of you, the aspirant, who has now what? Become a practitioner himself. And this is the initiated tradition. You learn it, you master it, and in time you will be giving it to somebody else, in which reaches back to what? The far reaches of time, all the way back to the first aspirants, those who learned from God, we call Tahuti, directly and became what? Preceptors to those who followed next, and so on up to the present day. I'm one of that link in the chain of ancient teachers and preceptors of spiritual knowledge, and I'll take that serious. Let me wrap this up. Now, you must treat, this is what they said, this ain't mine, this is what they said, you must treat your spiritual preceptor even better than you treat someone you love. Ordinary love affairs are fraught with strife. Love and hate periods are sprinkled with passionate moments and dashes of exuberant flights of fancy. You know how they feel good thing, you know how they go. But people develop possessiveness and attachments and call this love, and also they fall in and out of love as if it were what? A disease or a bus. I'm getting on this one, I'm get off right here. Thus, if this, of course, is what? Is not true love. We know that. But true love is what? True love transcends even the capacity to feel anger or disdain for your loved person that you love. If you truly love somebody, you won't get angry or you won't show disdain for them. How many people can say that in earnest? Now, if you truly love something, you stick with it through what? Thick and thin. And there is what? No falling out of it. Perfect example. My mom's a true ride or die. She rode with my old man, but she rode with me too. When I was going through my prison time, she was there every month, taking care of me, make sure I have what I needed. So that's what I'm talking about. True love, don't give up, don't give in. It will be there through thick and thin. I had my own life experience. Did you? And that's when you find out who loves you. Okay? Telling me you love me don't mean jack. Showing me means everything. And when you show it, you ain't got to say it. Me and that guy to his deathbed, but we knew it was there. We just didn't verbalize it. But that kind of men, they wasn't showing your love his weakness and all that nonsense. So he didn't. We went to his deathbed to let it be known. Dude, I know that all my life. You ain't got to worry about that. I never questioned your love for me. Okay, when people love you, they show it. Let's go now. It is an upward and expanding movement that is all encompassing and is eternal. So unless you have what loved in this way, please do not believe that you have truly loved. And for love, anything, your relationships are only training you for what? The true love, and you must learn that from the preceptor. I can help you with that by doing the thing like I said. If it's true love, show it. Don't be about it. Don't talk about it. Wrapping it up again. You must attempt to never lose your temper in presence of your preceptor, and never treat your preceptor unrighteously or with what? Resentment. You must learn to receive whatever the teacher says and apply it to your life. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. What I give you, you can use. That's why I give it to you. I do what I do for you to help you what? Know you. And many aspirants have learned to what? Do things their own way. Here you go. Here's the problem right here. Before I wrap it up, this is another problem. Instead of following the instructions from the teacher, what they do, they may question, for a deeper understanding, but not to the challenge in order to get out of their duty or to discredit that what has been said to. So they what? They may feel justified in disobeying the edicts, the concepts. This is the path of what? The weak-minded, ignorant. Again, same thing I said, the weak-minded and the ignorant, because they want to set off on their own. And watch this. They never attempt to put emotional guilt trips on elevated personalities. They want everybody else to feel bad for what they did. And watch this. They are immature, these are immature attempts to getting what? Their desires of what? Their ego, and they will be impotent, in the face of what? The elevated perceptor. Meaning, I ain't falling for the nonsense. I'm not the one for the nonsense. Gossiping about me or any other person is also a sign of degraded consciousness and will eventually what? Lead you away from the teacher, as well as what? True spiritual knowledge. Again, if you do the things that's going to cause you, that teacher who's trying to help you, to leave you alone, nobody fault but your own. And right now, I'm going to end the lesson with that. Put a pin on that one too. But right thinkers, in closing, may you live to be 100 and may 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinkers like you have passed away. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back. I got more.